Yo, welcome to the Birdman Show. Let's dive deep. Murder, mysteries, and tales that make you lose sleep. We re-uncover in the darkness the stories we'll keep. Laughing about the silliness while we leap and we sweep. Here's to mental health, let's break the chains. Friends talking it out, we got no shame. On the Birdman Show, let the truth unfold. Mysteries and madness, stories bold. From silly to serious, every episode's gold. Together we rise, let the secrets be told. From the worst of the worst, we reshining some light. Unraveling the tales of crime in the night. Crack a smile with the stories, take flight in the fight. Relationships and wisdom, we keep the vibe right. Bring your laughter, share your pain. In this journey together we re-breaking the grave. On the Birdman Show, let the truth unfold. Mysteries and madness, stories bold. From silly to serious, every episode's gold. Together we rise, let the secrets be told. So tune in with us, take a seat. The Birdman Show's where the real ones meet. Yo, welcome to the Birdman Show. Let's dive deep. Murder, mysteries, and tales that make you lose sleep. We re-uncover in the darkness the stories we'll keep. Laughing about the silliness while we leap and we sweep. Here's to mental health, let's break the chains. Friends talking it out, we got no shame. On the Birdman Show, let the truth unfold. Mysteries and madness, stories bold. From silly to serious, every episode's gold. Together we rise, let the secrets be told. From the worst of the worst, we reshining some light. Unraveling the tales of crime in the night. Crack a smile with the stories, take flight in the fight. Relationships and wisdom, we keep the vibe right. Bring your laughter, share your pain. In this journey together we re-breaking the grave. On the Birdman Show, let the truth unfold. Mysteries and madness, stories bold. From silly to serious, every episode's gold. Together we rise, let the secrets be told. From the worst of the worst, we reshining some light. From the Birdman Show, let the truth unfold.
What is up, everybody? How you doing? It's your boy, the Birdman. I'm not exactly sure what song this is, but anyways, it's your boy, the Birdman. I'm really kind of vibing to that. It's kind of. Anyways, I'm sorry, I got off track. Squirrel already scrolling. Okay, hey, what's up? I'm the Birdman. I got Itsy with me. I got Miss D with me. We are on the Birdman Show Conspiracy Series Recap Edition. So you already know what to do. So go ahead and do it with us. That is right. I'm excited. We're back. You know what I'm saying? I'm really excited about doing this recap. It was definitely a these last two episodes have been just unbelievably. I don't know how to say it. It's just been crazy with some of the stuff that we've been doing. So I'm excited to get to it. But I gotta say what's up to my co-hosts. I got two lovely ladies with me. I got Miss D. I got Itsy with me. We're gonna start with you, Miss D. How are you doing?
Hanging in. We're surviving. I'm super excited though because Amber and I we've been friends on TikTok and all that for quite some time, and it's nice to actually be on a live for any length of time.
Yeah, that is actually, I didn't even realize that. I did not realize that. That is actually pretty cool. So yeah. Speaking of which, Etsy, aka Amber. I always do that. Don't worry about it. I mean, Amber's her government name. Itsy is her beloved name from us. How the heck are you doing?
Pretty much about the same, I'm hanging in there, surviving. Still got a little bit of a cough, so if I turn my head, no, I'm not doing a physical.
Okay. Like, just tell your doctor just to chill out for a little bit.
Right.
Hey, doc, no, doc, no, no, no. Which I have a question. I have a question. I just don't understand this. With all the advances of technology, the fact that like I can say like they did my shoulder surgeries, both of my surgeries. I have like 4 or 5 little bitty incisions. They went in and they stuck the whatever down there. They were able to fix my shoulder without even.
They wanted to just yeet the Birdman tonight.
God bless America. Here we go again. But anyways, with all the freaking the surgeries and stuff they did, and now the freaking comments are not working. I mean, they're working, but they're not working. Whatever. Yes, Shiloh, no TikTok tonight because for whatever reason within the studio or whatnot. I don't know if it's TikTok, I don't know if it's the studio. It was making me redo my stream key, and then when I did it, it said I had to wait 3 days. So obviously nothing happened because I can still do stuff on TikTok. So whatever, I don't know. I'm not really fighting with them anymore. So I don't really care. See if I can get this going. Okay, there we go. Somewhat. All right. So, but yeah. Anyways, with all this stuff all this technology advances in technology they've done, to where I've even seen them perform a surgery, open heart surgery on someone using robots from a doctor not even in the same, not only not in the same room, not only not in the same building, but not even the same country. And I've seen him actually do that kind of stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. But yet and still, I still have to go to my doctor and he still has to stick a finger up my butt. Like, what kind of stuff is this? What is this? I think it's everybody's connected to Epstein. Anyways, hey.
Oh, dear God.
Still looking for the inner child. Anyways, sorry. Anyways.
You are sorry for nothing.
Darn right. But okay, so listen, we've got some recapping to do. We're gonna start with last night's episode. We're gonna work our way back to Monday. We're gonna do this a little different because Itzy's on a little bit of a time schedule, so we want to make sure we keep her to that. But we also want to make sure we recap that episode, give us just due, because Jesus, that one was freaking insane. So Itzy, why don't you kind of give everybody a little refresher of what we talked about last night?
So we went over about how Slender Man, the creepypasta story, went a little too far in two little girls' heads. They lured their classmate into the woods and proceeded to try and sacrifice her to the faceless entity known as Slender Man. Now, the victim did survive, and she is alive to this day, doing great wonders in the world. While the two girls who committed the crime are facing some pretty severe, consequences over these years. One girl, she is on probation, and the other, she has been locked up again since her attempted escape last November. But yeah, it was just a very insane story that happened. I mean, two little girls went a little too far into believing in just a campfire story, thinking it was real.
Yeah, I think for me, it wasn't only just the fact that there were 12. These girls were 12, and they went to the friends got together. Went to one of the assailants' house for a birthday sleepover. And they end up her and another girl end up taking the victim out to the woods, luring her out to the woods, and then commenced to stabbing her 19 times. That's not to me. Yeah, that's horrific. To me, is the fact that knowing the origin story of how this all started, as far as Slender Man, how it came about. Like I said, my introduction to Slender Man honestly was probably hearing about the movie, which came out in 2018. But then to find out last night that Slender Man had been around since '09, and it was just a concept from one guy who was wanting to create his own creepy pasta.
Mhm.
And that is what really got me, was that just something like that, taking something and wanting to create, and like I said, if you don't know anything about creepy pasta, if that's not your thing, which I mean, it's not for everybody, but give it a chance, give it a try. Like the stories that are told, they're just phenomenal. Like I said, there was one I find I follow one on Spotify. There's another one I follow. I can't remember, the Redwood Bureau. Um, have you heard about that one, Itzy?
I've heard of it. Yes, I haven't gotten too far into hearing about more about it.
It's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good.
I
I was
mean,
like,
I know about Jeff the Killer.
oh God. Okay, yeah, yeah. There you go. You got that one. Oh boy. Anyways, but yeah, it was just really a crazy episode. Now Miss D, you kind of joined us there for a little bit at the
Mhm.
beginning until Issy was able to get in. And I know you were watching the episode. What was something that jumped out to you about that?
I mean, just hearing about and I'm drawing a blank on the young lady's name, our victim there. Um,
Oh, God dang
Peyton
it.
Lautner.
Peyton, right.
Peyton, that's what Peyton.
Just reading her story, her survival skills, um, which is incredible. The fact, and just kind of doing some like follow up research and reading that she thanked her attackers and said she wouldn't have changed it because it made her who she is today. I don't think, no. I mean, I would probably be sitting at the gates of hell, you know, waiting on them. And you know, I don't think I have that kind of forgiveness in me.
Oh,
And
I
she
don't.
was 12 at the time. I mean, that's a pure soul right there. That girl is phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't have that type of forgiveness. I know I don't. My heart is not built that way. It may be in at one point in time, but nah. It's not. And it's crazy because the one thing I keep thinking about is the fact that Peyton, she's going through this, she's studying medicine. I'm not exactly sure what field she plans on going into as far as that, like what specialty she's going to go into. But it'd be crazy if she became a doctor, right? And for some unforeseeable reason, she ends up being like a surgeon and then ends up having to operate on one or both of them.
I do know she's supposed to graduate this year. Um, with a degree in behavioral psychology, specifically with the LGBTQIA plus,
That's right. That's
um,
right. Yes.
and women's studies. So to sit there and I mean, when you basically break that down, she's going to school to um, basically help deprogram survivors of the same thing.
That's just crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I mean, just the thing, and I know I said it last night. Like, I mean, if the parents had probably paid more attention to the two troubled girls, that this could have all been avoided. But at the same time, would we be able to say that Peyton would have been able to take the same path as she's taking now?
Mm.
Like, I hate that she had to go through that. But the person she's become since going through that trial is, I can't, I don't see a lot of adults going through something like that and becoming better. And I'm saying they don't. You just don't see a lot like something like that. Because I know good and well, at my age, what I'm saying, right now, if something like this would happen and I survive, I'm not, yeah, I forgive them. It was, no, I'm like, I'll don't bother me for about a couple months. I'm gonna be watching every single Rambo movie. I'm watching all the John Wick movies, the Born Identity, Born Supremacy, I'm watching all the movies. I'm watching freaking It Man. I'm watching all of them because I'm about to go on a revenge tour. And I'm going after everybody. I'm going after they dogs. They got pet fish, cats. Ain't nobody safe. If they know them, they ain't nobody safe. The fact that this girl at 12 years old, man, she seems stronger, and I know she had a long road of recovery, not only physically but especially mentally and emotionally. So I'm not saying that it was an easy road, but still come out like the way she is now. It's I mean, I can say I don't know a lot of adults that are like that now. So that's just crazy to me. To know that to be able to hear that type of story. And I said it last night. We don't get a chance where we talk about stories like that where it's actually there's an actual somewhat of a good ending to it, especially for the victim. So it's great. It's refreshing. I'm definitely thankful that we got a chance to cover that. That is just amazing to me. And I also want to remind everybody, definitely, hey, make sure you check out them comments because Shiloh's throwing out the knowledge for us like it always does. Appreciate that, Shiloh. Out freaking standing. Make sure you check that out. But yeah, it's just great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What else did you want to talk about when it came to last night's episode, Itzy?
Um, Frankly, I think we pretty much talked everything. Um, I mean,
Really,
just the
Christy?
fact that just the fact that they went through a lot. And these
Yeah,
girls caused a lot of damage, but Peyton, she came out on top. She really
yeah,
is on top. I mean, with maybe last year's escape attempt from Morgan Geyser, the fact that she tried to escape and she used somebody to do that. She was trying to, she was actually trying to escape to Nashville with her friend. They were just trying to disappear. And the thing is, when you got a face like that, after everything she did, somebody's gonna notice you.
yeah. I
So,
don't know if Nashville is probably the best place to go. You should probably should have went to the Appalachian Mountains or something.
yeah.
Uh,
They'd shake that out real quick.
uh I mean,
Oh
I'm,
yeah.
I'm just. I mean, she probably could have shacked up with Bigfoot for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? She kind of. I mean, I'm just saying she probably could have, shacked up with one of them. Maybe a couple skinwalkers or two. You know. Um,
Probably.
I'm just saying she
I
might have
mean,
had. She could have. She could have. I mean, she might have. At least a couple months where she could have kind of evaded the law and everything. But I mean, I'm saying. I mean, it is what it is. Um.
yeah.
Oh, he said Lautner. Child says Lautner serves as a therapy intern at Therology, where she
She
specializes in
specialized.
trauma and depression. Oh wow, okay. So she's an intern there already. That's cool. Yeah, and Chrissy said, "Shout out, quit showing off." Um, you keep doing you, man. Keep doing you. Like I said before, I hate the fact that we have to kind of whatever like I said, I don't know what the issue is with TikTok. I've always got that message after a certain point to like redo my stream key, which all it is you just hit apply. It takes you to your TikTok page, and then it just updates it, and keep going. Now all of a sudden it's saying, oh, you got to wait 3 days. Like, why the hell do I have to wait 3 days? Like, what sense does that make? Like,
Right.
whatever, bro. Like, I was just on there last night. Like, you couldn't have just sent me a message then. But whatever. We'll see what happens. I'll check on it again probably Sunday. See what happens. Yeah, I don't know. It's very irritating. But I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna tell everybody now, the ones everybody's watching right now, and I will put videos out um, to back that up if I have to do that. If we're not gonna be able to stream TikTok, I'll probably end up going back to Riverside. Um, and I'll go back to Riverside for a lot of reasons, but the main reason is because Riverside actually gives us an um an audience studio.
Mhm.
And what that means is that everybody's watching us even on YouTube, or they're watching us on Rumble. I can still do everything on Riverside. I can still stream to Rumble, and I can even still stream to YouTube. However, Riverside gives us a studio, an actual studio. So if you go to the Riverside Birdman Show studio, you actually can be within the studio. So like Amber Itzy right now is in the studio right now. But if she was watching us on her laptop, there's actual feature on there that she can do a live call in. So if we ask a question, or say Itzy says, "Oh, hey, I know about this. I got some say." She can hit the live call in. She can type in her question or her statement, whatever she wants to make, and I can simply let her in the studio, and she can say what she needs to say, and then she goes back to the audience. I love that. I've always loved that feature about Riverside. That was the one feature I wish that Restream had, but they don't. But I've always loved that feature, especially when it came to like any of our discussion panels
Mhm.
or anything like that, where we can actually get in there and do that. I would much rather do that, which is what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get geared towards with the streaming service that we're coming up with. Is to be able to have that, and we'll probably end up using Riverside for that versus Restream, because of the fact that we have that live call-in feature. So I know change sucks. I don't like it. But I want to try. I will try my best to help guide everybody to that. Um, because, like I said, I hate losing our support that we always get on TikTok. But at the same time, I'm not going to keep going the back and forth
Mhm.
for everybody, because it just at the end of the day, it gets annoying. Like we were having with people dropping off, or like we were having where TikTok just kept dropping out. Um, and then I'd have to restart it midstream. That gets annoying after a while. It gets annoying for me. I know it definitely gets annoying for people wanting to watch, and people will start tuning out after that. So that's why I'm trying to get everything moved over to one simple platform, to where everybody can watch us how they need to watch us. Like I said, with whatever we're doing, I'll still be able to stream to YouTube. Still going to be doing Rumble, but we'll cut out. Unfortunately, have to cut out some other stuff if it comes down to it. So I'm hoping not, but it is what it is. Like I said, I don't want to keep fighting with this, especially with the sell TikTok and everything else that's going on. I'm not really liking the direction it's going, so we'll see what happens. Um, Miss D, what is there anything else that you heard from last night that it kind of just really jumped out to you, other than just the story of Peyton?
Um, I mean, the one thing, and I don't remember if it was mentioned or not, when they found Morgan and she was covered in Peyton's blood, the one thing that she said to the police officers was, "Well, I might as well tell you, yeah, we tried to kill her."
Yeah,
I mean, they're 12 years old. And I mean, when when we were, 12, 13, we were doing the whole Ouija boards and, Bloody Mary in the bathroom mirror and, you know, um, s- light as a feather, stiff as a board kind of thing. Even before the craft came out. And
okay.
I don't think that it affected people the same way as this whole thing. I think the whole Slender Man thing was just the fallback, and they rode that cycle all the way through. And the fact that she was also schizophrenic, her dad was schizophrenic. I mean, there are so many factors into it, um, but still doesn't change the fact that, one, they weren't actually charged until when, 2018,
Um,
17 or 18.
I think it was
Yes.
it 18
Yeah.
or 17?
So it
Was it
took
17?
that long to charge them. The other one got
Yeah.
out in 2021, and Morgan Geyser was termed to a residential care facility. I mean, if Peyton didn't have, and I've used this term on the show before, if Peyton didn't have the testicular fortitude that girl had to drag herself to a space where she would be seen, it would have been a whole different outcome. And they basically got off scot-free using this lore and myth as their backing. It just, I mean, we were watching movies like the Blair Witch Project, and yeah, you saw kids running around the woods for a little bit, but you didn't see an uptick in people trying to kill their friends as a sacrifice. I mean, it just boggles my brain what I have left of one anyway.
Hmm. I agree with that, Dad, because let's face it, the case with these two girls, when it comes to the whole Slender Man thing, they were the only ones who seemed to be affected by Slender Man. I've even tried looking up to see if there was any similar cases. They were the only ones throughout the whole country. I mean, there was a lot of kids, who really was really, really, I guess you could say in a way obsessive with Slender Man, but they never acted out like these two girls did.
Well, I mean,
They just,
think about all the other movies that have come out that have been kind of cult classics and stuff like that. And
hmm
there's not like any issue. But you know what? That's always been my fundamental problem when it comes to this. People try to use certain things for a political statement or this and that, and they say, "Oh, we're going to make an example of this." They did that same thing with rock music. They said that same thing with rap music. They've done the same thing with all kinds of different other platforms, with some video games, some books, some movies. Some they've done that on so many. The thing with me that gets me is when you have children that are involved. Okay, when the children are involved, and I'm sorry, I don't care if for me it's 18 and under, because I don't care if you're 18. In most cases, you're still a child. Um, and even some cases, even 21 and under, you're still a child. It's really based on your maturity, your decision making, everything else. But that's neither here or there. But what I'm saying is, what bothers me is, especially when you're talking 15 and under, right? 15 and under. Let's go with 15 and under. And something like this comes up or something happens, and they try to blame, whether it's a movie, whether it's a book, whether it's the music they're listening to. They try to blame all this stuff on those things and why the children are acting that way, instead of just saying, and I said it last night, instead of saying, what about the parents? Where's their accountability in this? How is it the fact that your child is even watching something like this? You say what you want to about the video game. If it's a game like that, why is your child even playing that game? Like I'm big on, like, if my son comes to me and says, "Hey, Dad, I want to get this game." I'm, all right, cool. I check the game out. I find out what the game is. I see what the content of the game is. There's been times, well, I mean, my son, I don't have to worry about it so much because he plays sports games, and I play the exact same sports games, stuff like that. He doesn't really play too many other games. But other than that, I mean, if there was a game he's come out there, I would research the game before I even allow him to even get the game.
hmm
Like, I'm not just gonna sit there and say, "Oh yeah, cool. Oh, that's a game. Oh, that's a game. Oh yeah, you've been talking about that game. I'll just go ahead and go get it, download it, put on your Xbox, put it on your PlayStation, put it on your PC. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'll do all that." And then come to find out, it has all kind of other stuff on it. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, where'd you forget? Where'd you learn that from? Oh, it's on the video game I'm playing. Like, I would never let my kids play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Like, there'd be no way that any of my children would be playing Grand Theft Auto. Like, there's certain games, and this is what I keep telling parents, especially the ones I sometimes have to deal with. Stop just giving your child a device and allowing them to just go do what they want to do because you want to have your time. Because you think, I've worked so hard, I don't want to have to come home and deal with these kids. Um, you're a parent. If you didn't want to deal with the kids, number one, if you're a guy, stop sticking your in everything. Number one, if you're a woman, close your freaking legs. That's pretty freaking simple. If you don't want a child, don't do the activities that will guarantee the fact that you might actually get one. If you want to be able to go off and do your thing and live your life, have your career, don't have children. That's pretty simple. Because in what I'm seeing, what I've been seeing here lately is the fact that a lot of these kids, the reason why a lot of these kids are the way they are is because the parents didn't really want to have the children. So therefore, they just let them do whatever the heck they want to. They give them a device. Here's an iPad. Here's a phone. Here's a video game. Here's a computer. Here's a TV remote. Just go do this. Oh, you want to go hang out with your friend? Yeah, that's fine. Go hang out with your friend. Yeah, cool. You don't want to come back until 10, 11 o'clock at night? That's cool. Fine, cool. Go ahead, do what you do. Mommy needs a break. Daddy needs a break. No. I firm believer. I got to hear back from but I'm a firm believer. My parents told me this when I was 10 years old. I think I was 10. It might have been 12. One of my cousins got pregnant. My dad comes walking in the house, yelling at my brother and I'm like, bro, I didn't even have sex with nobody. What is going on? Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, if either one of you idiots get a girl pregnant, your life is over. You can forget about your little dreams of doing anything. Your butt's gonna get a job. Your butt's gonna work. You're gonna support her. You're gonna support that child. Your life is over. Forget about all that stuff. He said, 'cause I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna be doing anything else, and think you're gonna be getting support from me, and living in my house or anything like you. You are going to provide for that child. He said, if you don't want to be the mother, fine, but you're gonna provide for that child. And I'm like, I listen. That's like, bro, look, there's some things I want to do, man. I ain't trying to have no kids right now, and I didn't. My first child wasn't born until I was 24. I think I was 24. I was 24 years old before I had my first child. And you get these kids are having children at 15, 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously? And then the parents want to get mad if it's a girl. The parents will get mad at the boy. They got to pray. If it's a little boy, the parents want to get mad at the little girl. They got pregnant by their boy. Like, where were you at? Why did they have the opportunity to do that? Where were they at? Like, stop blaming everybody else for. And this, I know we're talking about this kid thing. We're talking about this. I know I'm on a thing. I'm just on Birdman's on one night. I know we like to put our problems on everybody else. But at some point in time, you got to realize you got to take responsibility. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about everything that's going on in America right now. At some point in time, people are going to take responsibility for what they created. You can say what you want to, but there's nothing right now that I'm looking at this what's going on in this country that is being created that's been good for this country. You can't say, well, this part of this is good, but we have the whole division and we have Americans that are being killed for standing up for other Americans. There's no part of that is even remotely acceptable. I don't care. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're my friend, you're not my friend. I don't care. I will never agree with you on that. And you can't sit up there and say that, because I will tell you this. If you're going to say that, I tell you what, wherever you're at in the country, hop on a plane, hop in the car, drive to Minnesota, drive to some of these other places. Go look at those kids, or those wives, or those husbands who lost the family member to these idiots out there doing this crap. And you tell them, hey, listen, I know this hurts, but what we're trying to do is it's really going to be good for the country. You go ahead and look them in the face and tell them that, because I guarantee you they're not going to see or feel it the same way. We can all disagree. We can agree. We can disagree. Whatever. But at the end of the day, you cannot agree with what's happening to people in America right now. You can't. I don't care what your end goal is. The process is beyond screwed up. And people we're either not speaking up about it, or we're trying to say that the ends justify the means. I'm pretty sure they said the same thing about that when it came to what was going on with the Holocaust. I'm pretty sure they said the same thing about what was going on with slavery. I'm pretty sure they said the exact same thing was going on when they were for decades they were keeping women from having their rights. Well, we got to justify the means. This is going to be good for country. We don't want them doing this. I'm pretty sure that same thing was said many, many times before. So don't think just because of what's going on here, just because, like we said before, and I think Mason actually said it Monday. Most people just they don't think it's so bad because it doesn't affect them. this is not something that really affects me. But when you look at history, look at how many things have happened that exact same freaking statement has been made. This doesn't really affect me. This is not really something going on in my area, or I may not personally know somebody that's dealing with this. So it's okay, I guess. It's not. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not. It's not okay. I can't support this. Like I said, I get overly upset because of my hat. That's the unit I served with when I was in the military. My military, like before, I probably would have had the same attitude, but now since I've served, there's no way. I can never stand by seeing crap like that. Never. That's just they and they created a monster when it came to me when it comes to that stuff. I can't, and I don't sit by idly, especially and let people just say the dumbest things that I've seen. Like there's no compassion. I've not seen any compassion. And when it comes to this case with these two girls who did what they did, and I still never once heard anything about the parents' responsibility. Like even now, even after you said, that what was it? God bless it. See, this is what happens when you're old, man. You can't remember nothing, man. I think I ate today. I don't know. What's the girl's name? Madison and
Oh, Morgan.
Morgan. Yeah.
Morgan and freaking what was the other one? Ariel.
Anissa.
Oh, okay. What you laughing at, Miss D?
I'm a visual person and just not right.
I'm just saying. But yeah, them two. Like, I just don't. The fact that you didn't hear or anything being said about the parents, that bothers me. It just really does. It bothers me. Like how is there nothing being real said about them? But then you want to talk about some of those parents that allow their kids to take a firearm to school and shoot up a school. Well, you should have had more.
There he goes again. Welcome back.
Anyways, we're not gonna silence me. Anyways, but no, seriously. I mean, that just irritates me. It's like there should be, especially for depending on the age of the child, there should be a lot more responsibility placed on the parents. And I just don't know. I mean, from what we've seen, what I was able to pick up, there was nothing. So my question is like, what are the parents like? Where are they at now?
I'm sure Shiloh's probably going to beat me to it, but I'm about to look that up.
Oh, okay.
I am actually looking that up right now, and I only got one.
Really?
Morgan Geyser's mom is still advocating for her daughter, stating that she is no longer a danger and she is in treatment for her mental illness. The one thing I can counter with that is why did she try to escape last November? So, I don't know. But her mom is still standing up for Morgan and trying to, get her out of being locked up.
Like my thing is this. I don't understand why they would even remotely consider allowing an individual. I don't care who it is. But in this case, I don't understand why they would even remotely allow them to ever be free. The act, because let's be honest with you. If this would have happened and they were 18, what would have been the outcome?
Oh, if they were 18 and this happened, despite Peyton surviving, they would have definitely probably got 25 to 50 years in prison. So maybe with
That's what I'm thinking.
yeah, maybe with a mental health treatment, but they would still be in prison.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So,
That's what I'm thinking. It's like you can sit there and say, okay, well they're only 12, but that makes it to me makes it worse.
mhm,
You were 12 years old and you did this. So what in the world makes me think that once you get older, you're gonna be any better? Like you can sit there and say, "Well, I'm taking my medication, and we had this, and I've been sick." I get that, but it's gonna. I mean, I'm all for second chances, but how many stories have we heard where someone's been in a situation like this? They were given a second chance, and then they go back out and they do the exact same thing, if not worse. Instead of
yeah,
somebody actually surviving something, they actually unalive somebody. Like I'm all for second chances, but with something that heinous, something that brutal, and then having no remorse for it afterwards. I mean, I guess it's a fine line because of the children and the age, and maybe because they're saying they're suffering from schizophrenia. But yeah, if you suffer from schizophrenia, that would be something to pause pause for the cause. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe this may not be such a great idea just to let them go flying free in society. Or at least if we do, we gotta have some serious restrictions on this. Like I don't know.
See,
I don't know.
my thought on it is by the parents not advocating for these girls to take accountability simply because of their age and what is going on. Because um, Anissa's parents were, fighting that she should be not tried as an adult because of, her age and the Wisconsin's laws surrounding child brain development. But if they're not taught to take accountability, which the parents are trying to basically avoid, um, there is no rehabilitation without the accountability. So it's only going to perpetuate that kind of violence.
Yeah, and that's what I just don't get. Like I don't understand. Listen, I get it. I'm a parent. And no, I don't want to think that my kid is capable of doing something like that. But if they did something like that, I'm sorry. Like, yo, bro, yo, sis, we're gonna need to talk about this because I'm saying right now, you might not want to come back home because I got a belt waiting for you. Anyway, no, that's a black thing. Don't worry, it's a black thing. For the most part, I'm not gonna say always, but for the most part. Anyways, but like seriously, like I'm like, yo, they were like, hey, hey, Mr. Simpson, what do you think about your son or your daughter is doing this, and that? I'm like, yo, look, that fool crazy. I knew that fool crazy when he came out the womb. That fool was singing some Snoop Doggy Dogg, ain't nothing but a G thing. So I knew that fool was crazy. Now, I'm not gonna sit there and say, well, I just want my child to be home. I don't care. You did a crime, do the time. Like that's just to me, it's one of those things. Like I'm not gonna. I would never say I would stop loving my child if something like that happened. I would never stop loving my child. But at the
mhm,
same time, my duty as a parent is to protect that child. Sometimes to protect that child, that child needs to be under watch. If I don't care, maybe that person needs to be under watch
mhm.
because the last thing you should do is open the door and give them another opportunity to do something worse. Like I said, Peyton was the angels was watching over her that day when that happened to her, but the next person might not be so lucky. And who says it stops at one?
Very true.
I know you're about to say something. Let's see what you got.
Frankly, no, I'm actually agreed with you, with everything. Um, where does it stop when it comes to crimes like this? You do give somebody a second chance, but with something like this, the amount of mental disability, I guess you could say, with these girls, what would happen if they were released and they're just out there? What if they have a relapse? I'm sorry, but with Morgan Geyser having schizophrenia, That's not something that goes away. That is not something that goes away. What would have happened if they never caught her in November? What would happen after that if they never found her? Who would have been next? So, what else would happen? That's pretty much the end of it.
Yeah, that really bothers me. Um, because okay, so then I don't know if did it say in that when they caught her and they took her back, did they take her back to the same place or did they put her somewhere else?
As far as I understand, she went right back to the mental asylum that she was in before she went into the group home. They revoked they revoked everything of her being in a
Oh,
group home. She is in lockup again,
okay, that's at least
especially
that's
after
good.
escaping.
I mean, at least that's good.
Hmm.
Um, what? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at Shallow's comments. The defense sought a reverse waiver to transfer the case to juvenile court. Shut up. Anyways, where the focus would be on rehabilitation rather than uh, retribution. They argue that the predators developing brains, what? Predators developing brains and severe mental illness made them unsuitable for adult prison system.
I mean, I can understand that.
Yeah,
Um, you know, adult prison
yeah, I
for,
don't.
children who are already suffering mental illness. Um, the adult prison system is not appropriate, but neither is a residential group home.
Right.
Um, and unfortunately, our not only is our health system, um, our prison system, it's all broken,
Oh yeah.
and when you're dealing with our prison system, you're also looking at high rates of recidivism. Um, you know, and let's face it, people who are in prison, whether it's mental health related, physical health, their health is not being looked after the way it should. Um, and yeah, I understand they're in prison. Their rights to high end luxury stuff. Um, they don't have those rights, but they're still human beings who have
Mm-hmm.
basic human rights, and we should not use the medical system as leverage against that.
No.
So if they were getting proper medical assistance, even in the prisons, in the mental asylums, um, I could see rehabilitation being a much higher success rate,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not getting that kind of services.
No.
You know, and then when you've got somebody like Morgan who, with schizophrenia, she's on things like lamotrigine, lithium, um, things, medications of that sort. And if she decides that she's just going to stop taking them without titrating down, you're actually doing even more damage.
Yeah.
And the likelihood of being able to treat her for those illnesses um, becomes much slower, if at all. Because once you cold turkey a medication like that so many times, you cannot go back on that medication.
Yeah. 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 That's what's yeah. I, and the thing is, look, there's no real way to fix the system without completely scrapping it and starting over. Um, and the reason, and people will say, well, we just need to, we need prison and law reform. You can't get the reform if you still have corrupt people who are running the system. It's always just going to be corrupt. They're just going to you put a new system in place, and then they're just going to find another little loophole. They're going to find something else they can use it to corrupt and continue doing what they're doing. There's no way to fix it without scrapping it and restarting it. I hate saying it, but actually I don't hate saying it. Because you look at these prisons, people say, well, they committed this crime, this heinous crime, they're going to prison, they're going to rot in jail. Well, the thing is this, some of the stuff that's going on in prison, and you don't even hear a tenth of the stories that actually go on in prison. Is far worse than most people will actually think. I remember hearing a story. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember who the story was, what it was about. It was about roughly about 10 years ago, and it was a young man. He had I don't remember the circumstances. All I know was that he ended up unaliving a young lady. Got caught, was convicted, went to jail, and actually it was I think it was for they were trying to push. I think I wanted to say they were trying to push for murder two. I think he ended up getting manslaughter. I can't remember if I can remember the story. Find it. I'll bring it up again at some point in time. Anyways, he ends up going to prison. And somewhere along the line, or no, he think he did. Yeah, he got murdered too. He didn't get manslaughter. He got murdered too. Somewhere along the line, the victim's family, actually went to go see him in prison. Because they felt like there was just some things that just weren't, and there were just some questions that weren't answered. And when they went to go see him, and they actually saw what was going on in prison, like some of the things, they were like, "Whoa, wait a minute!" Like I've never seen like somebody go to prison and see somebody who actually took the life of their child or something like that, and actually felt, I don't want to say remorseful, but even though they were upset, they were like, I want him in prison, but the conditions need to be at least a little bit better than this. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know I don't know how to explain it. It's like I can be upset at somebody for doing something really bad to somebody in my family, but at the same time, I have, okay. Let me ask this question: have you ever been someplace, done something, or went somewhere, anywhere, and you've seen something that was so horrible you said, "I wouldn't even wish this upon my worst enemy," even though I may say I hate this person to my core, but I still wouldn't want to wish that on them. Like I wouldn't want them to have to go through this. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was like. And I've felt like that before on several different occasions when it comes to certain things I've seen. And it's like, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Like I would at least, I want you to, I want you to suffer, but I want you suffering like that. Like that's biblical suffering right there. That's on biblical proportions. like Armageddon's coming, like, oh dang, like that's what and it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I get tired of people talking about, whoa, prisons are so overcrowded. Okay, we got all these people on death row. Why are they still on death row?
Yeah, that drives me insane.
I'd be like, hey, you get two appeals. After your second appeal, you got 2 months. If you run out of people, do it. I'll do it. Hire me. I'll do it. I'll be over there with a little Batman mask on or a Rosario mask on. With a cape.
Right.
I'm Zorro and ching, ding, 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 you know what I'm saying? Light them up, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'll do it. We do it. Matter of fact, line them all up. We'll do it for Christmas. When we light the Christmas lights up in Times Square, I flip the switch. Christmas lights come on. We take out 200-300 death row inmates. Every year, make it a big thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, Birdman's not gonna be called the executioner. Anyways, like, oh my God, Birdman, like, yeah, put them all on the wire. Just like they put the birds on the electrical wires, and they now you got fried chicken. Speaking of fried chicken, but that was a stereotype. Like, oh my God. Anyways, is it just me, or is scrambled eggs really fried chicken?
Really, Birdie? Okay, why are you asking the hard questions? Seriously, no, 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 no. Ah,
It's boneless fried chicken.
I, I, I'm sorry. Not sorry.
No, you're not.
You're right. I'm not.
you are
I'm not.
definitely not.
I'm not. But it's a question, though. It's a question that needs answers.
Answers that we do not have,
Well, somebody needs to
other
find them.
than that,
Shiloh.
yeah, let's ask Shiloh.
Shiloh, find that out for me. But no, that's a question I always I just like I was like, man, could it be considered fried chicken? I mean, it's an egg, you frying it up, you know. I mean, dang, that's wow. Been eating fried chicken this whole
Yeah,
time, and I don't even like fried chicken. Wow. Mm, mm. I guess I really am black. Wow.
I
Wow.
mean,
Wow.
when it comes to eggs, if they're not fertilized, I guess they wouldn't be fried chicken.
I'm just saying. Okay, so the question was, I asked the question, Shiloh. I said, is it just me or is scrambled eggs technically fried chicken? I need answers to that. I need an answer to that. I mean, is scrambled can you consider scrambled eggs to be fried chicken? I mean, I get what you're saying, Itzy. You know, well, technically not fertilized, but I mean, it's a chicken. I mean, if you're looking at that concept, it's just like, you know. But okay, then then no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. This is a whole different episode, and that's a whole different episode, whole different topic. We're not getting into that. I'm not getting into that debate. Not tonight.
But I mean, if you really want to get into it, like buffalo wings aren't bison.
The freak you mean they not? I'm playing.
Those are some really small wings.
I know, maybe they get them when they were young.
It's like cutting the horns off of.
No Epstein. Anyways,
Great.
I'm telling you, that's my new thing.
Where is this conversation going?
I don't know. It's the Birdman Show.
It's Thursday. There's really no like general direction.
I mean, I'm just these are just questions that I'm asking. Okay. Chrissy said, yeah, no, because they had to be fertilized, and no. I'm pretty sure she was talking about I think she probably knew the direction that conversation could have really taken. Mm-hmm. We're not doing that, no. But I'm just saying, I mean, I get it, but I mean, when is a chicken a chicken? I mean, when it comes out the egg, I mean, is it technically still a chicken? Or don't worry, I'm not giving any subtle hints or notes or anything like that. I'm just saying. What shall I say? If we are looking at this through a strictly technical lens, okay, here we go. They are two different biological stages and two different cooking methods. I like where you're going with that. However, depending on how loose you are with the definitions, you can make a surprisingly strong and slightly chaotic case for it. Aha! Boom! That's what I'm talking about. I'm just saying. It's possible. That's all I'm saying. We deal with possibilities around here. I told you the Birdman Show is like playing spades. You got three or four solids, and you got one possible. I got one possible, baby. I could probably get that one. If it plays out right, I can get that possible. If you ever play spades, I'm trying to tell you that possible is strong. You almost can count it. Almost book it.
Now, I'm actually kind of curious. My husband's sitting on the couch next to me, but he's got his earbuds in. Jeffrey, he's taking his earbud up.
Okay.
If all right. So the question is eating a fried egg technically the same as eating fried chicken?
You'd think, but it doesn't taste like fried chicken. So
I know it doesn't. It doesn't.
True. I mean, and fried chicken in its own right has breading. You don't do that with the egg unless you're making a Scotch egg, and that's a whole different thing.
I'm just saying. I mean, listen, you could listen. I know people who fry chicken and then take the breading off. They just want the process of it. Now I used to, like when I was a kid, I didn't really eat fried chicken that much. Only fried chicken I would eat would be KFC's original. I didn't like the crunchy. I hated the crunchy for whatever reason. I hated it. I love the original. But if I ate chicken, I would always take the breading off. And I would just eat it that way. So if you're going by that definition,
But here's the other thing too. When you make fried chicken, a lot of times you dredge the chicken in eggs.
So you're getting a double fried chicken. You're double frying it. You're getting extra chicken. Getting a double helping of chicken.
Ed, with that note, I believe I have run out of time.
Oh God. Well, thank you for recapping last night's episode with us and joining the chicken debate.
I mean, it was a fun subject to try and touch base on, but nothing I could actually answer.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay. We don't always have to have answers to everything. But Itzy, we definitely thank you for joining us, not only last night, but again tonight. Like I said, that was a wonderful, wonderful episode. I absolutely loved it. It had me on the edge of my seat from start to finish. It had me on the edge of my seat from start because I had no idea where we were going at the first. Because Birdman just had to wing it there for a while. Seriously, I think I got hit with an arrow. So I was flopping a little bit. But anyways, yeah, thank you for joining us. Love you, sis. God bless you. And we will definitely see you on the flip. All right.
Oh, definitely. And thank you for having me.
Yeah, and once again, happy freaking birthday. Like I said, his birthday was Monday.
Birthday.
It was Monday, so we got a chance to celebrate that. So definitely want to tell you again, happy birthday. Love you, and enjoy the rest of your week.
You as well. Have fun.
Right. All right, Miss D. Like, I don't know. I don't even. We need to recap Monday's episode. Okay, yes. So I tell you, here's what we're gonna do because we're gonna need to take a commercial break. Let's take a commercial break because we got to transition from the whole fried chicken discussion. Now I'm really wanting a fried egg. I think I might make me a fried egg sandwich when I get out of here. Anyways,
I had grilled chicken tonight. That's gonna count for something.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a form. Yeah, it's still a form. It's a form. You know, grilled, fried, whatever it is. What it is. I prefer grilled chicken. I love grilled chicken. So yeah. But let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll come right back. We'll get into the recap of Monday's episode when we talked about trackers. Ew. Oh wait, man, I better not do that. I might get hit with a copyright. Anyways, we'll be right back. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute, because I already seen something. I didn't want to make sure I get this properly done. Okay, because if not, my face is gonna pop up on the freaking cutscene. I'm like, oh, I'm still here. Like, now you don't see me. Anyways, we'll be back. You already know who I am. But if you don't, I'm the Birdman from the Birdman Show. That's my man, main ace, main. Anyways, we are from the Birdman Show. And if you've never watched the show, this is a common occurrence. Okay, so don't even trip on it. But we want to take the time to let you guys know that the Birdman Show is brought to you by Restream. Now, with Restream, you can create high quality audio and video content for your podcast. I just want to tell them a little bit more.
Now, with Restream, what you get superior listening experience with crystal clear audio. Now, you can eliminate the audio drift, and you don't have to worry about connectivity. I mean, there's so much more, but these are just a few of the things that we wanted to pinpoint. With Restream, the simple and powerful podcast studio, you can easily create your own podcast, and it's effortless.
And I also want to add that you can connect up to 8 different channels. So like we stream on YouTube, we got Twitch, we're working on TikTok. TikTok see that. But we're working on TikTok. You can stream to all kind of different platforms. Get your podcast out there. So head on over to restream.io to start your free account and get to podcast and holla at your boys.
Or,
So,
you know, I mean, they could always just like not create their own.
Or you can create your own, but in between time, come watch ours.
Yes.
So we want you to do your thing.
But don't forget about us.
Yes, come watch us. Okay. So definitely come watch us every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time, right over on our YouTube channel at Birdman Show Podcast 9643 or over on Twitch at Birdman 143. We'll see y'all later. We out. That only took like 500 times.
And you're still recording.
That's right. Yeah, you saw the conspiracy files up there. That's because we're transitioning over to our conspiracy files portion of the recap. And we're going to talk about Monday's episode. But before we do that, you already know what to do. So won't you go ahead and do it with us? That is right. So we're back here, the Birdman Show conspiracy files recap. We just got through recapping last night's episode, which was really good, on the Slender Man. And the attempted sacrifice of a young lady. I just like now I'm just like, if my kids are like, hey, dad, I want to have a sleepover at somebody's house. No, absolutely not. No. We're like, what? No. Remember, dad's having a flashback again. But we talked about that last night. Like I said, definitely go check that out. It's on over. You can check that out over on our YouTube channel, which is at TBS 216, or you can check it out over on our Rumble channel. So I'll just go ahead and throw all that up there right now. What the heck? I said throw it up there. I didn't say do that. Oh, God dang it. Not that. Don't do that. Jesus.
Having an issue over there.
A little bit. I need to take that TikTok version on because you can't really go back and see that on TikTok. But anyways, you can see it on Rumble by going to Birdman Show. Also over on YouTube at TBS 216. So definitely go check out last night's episode as well as Monday night's episode of Conspiracy Files, which we're about to get into right now.
Yes.
Right now. Yeah. So Monday's episode, we talked about trackers. We were trackers unmasked, tiny tech, terrifying surveillance, or total myth. I think we can all agree they're definitely not a myth in any fashion. It's just maybe some of the branches that come off of that myth tree that might be myth worthy. But we had a good time. Definitely enjoyed it. How'd you? God bless it. Also, don't forget to check out the Birdman Show podcast. Anyways, I don't know why it keeps wanting to do that. I'm having issues over here. This studio is not one to work tonight. Anyways, how did you feel about Monday's episode?
So, I mean, when I brought up the topic in our initial production meeting, you gave me a weird look. Because I remember, we were discussing it and you're like, well, what kind of trackers? And I'm like, human trackers. And you're like, okay, well, we're going to save that. And just doing the research on it, I was having a hard time finding a lot of research itself.
Yeah.
Everything wanted to come back to human trafficking, not human tracking. But, when you break it down and you do more of surveillance over tracking, I think you find more information. And we are surveilled basically 24 hours a day. even in our own homes. It's not like you're under surveillance when you leave your house. We're under surveillance in our own homes. If you have any kind of smart device, you are under some sort of surveillance. It doesn't matter if it's a phone, a watch, TV, um, any kind of these. I don't want to say it because I do have a few of those items in my home, and I don't want to start,
Yeah, I know.
tripping them off.
Yeah.
But like, and I know people are like, oh, well, they listen, that's how they come up with your algorithm. They do. I swear to you, they do. There are things that will pop up. Like, I'll have a conversation. It won't be anywhere near anything, but, I'll have my phone in my pocket, whatever. And I'll have a quiet conversation about something. And next thing I know, that's all my algorithm is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, and I get the whole uh, argument of, well, what about our right to privacy? Anytime you step out the door of your home, past the threshold, and you are in public, there is no actual right to privacy on public property.
No.
Anytime that you purchase and use any of these smart devices, you are already giving consent to be surveilled. That's why you have to, actually read your terms and conditions, read, the manufacturer's paperwork. How many of us will get that paperwork and just be like, okay, and they check it aside?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's reading. You're actually giving consent just simply by purchasing and using, any of these smart devices. To answer your question, do you feel that the government has the right to spy on you? In some ways, yes. Some ways, no. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a government thing. It's a human thing. Having your traffic cams in places such as the airports, train stations, banks. Yeah, because when you break it down, not only can that surveillance help, catch a predator, it can protect the company for liabilities. You have a slip and fall, or was it a slip and fall kind of situation?
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody kind of has to watch out for the little guy. So is it really the government, overreach, or is it people protecting their own? It's a hard debate.
Yeah, I agree. It is. It's a hard debate, but it's also a extremely slippery slope. And
Mhm.
I'm talking about more slippery than a P Diddy after party. Um, but it's very slippery in the sense that when you when you give that level of when we'll put a classified under protection, um, they tend to have the ability to then say, well, based off our judgment or based off our interpretation of it, then we decided we needed to use it for this, or we decided we needed to use it for that. All this is very, very, it's dangerous.
Mhm.
And the reason why I say that, and I know we've brought this up before, but there's a lot of truth in a lot of the stuff that we've been saying, and that's when you got to be very careful when you watch these movies, and these are the topics of these movies. It always starts off as this is why we're doing this, because it's supposed to be a level of protection, extra protection for the consumer, for the company. But then it doesn't. Then it turns out that that's not what they're using it for, And in a lot of cases, never was their intention to use it for that. They disguise it as a false sense of protection for you. And then sometimes, if you're not careful, you buy into that, and you don't realize that not only is that completely inherently false, but you've given into it because, like Mason said, like you said before, I think I've said a couple times before myself. If you're not careful, by put on charger. If you're not careful with not reading the fine print on these agreements that you're because we've all said it, and I think you just said it. You go to look at something, you just
Did you look them out?
shit, no, I didn't. My bad.
Oh.
Well, they weren't whining or anything, so they're fine.
I know, but it's.
I know what time it is. But when you check those boxes, you don't actually read those terms and agreements.
Mhm.
You're giving consent for them to do stuff like that, and that's partly on us. I'm bad about that, and I'm even bad about that when it comes to certain things that I've been using for years, and I so-called trust that product or I trust that company, and I gotta say, dude, what am I doing? I don't trust none of these companies. I don't. Like, you can't, because they are always and forever will be about their bottom dollar. Even if something happens and they come out and make statements talking about, well, here at such and such, we don't condone, we don't believe in this. We're all about. They are making statements just so they can try to keep up a public image. I'm not saying that that they don't believe it, but I'm just going to tell you right now, when it comes to that, their public image is more important, because if they can't keep their public image up, they're not going to keep their dollars coming in. If they don't keep their dollars coming in, that's the stock prices are going to go down. They got to answer to that. Saying people are going to start getting fired, laid off, whatever. All that, they've got to protect themselves.
Mhm.
And you said it. Is it one of those things where it's protection for the people, or is it protection for the company's bottom interest? And that's what it comes down to. Like I tell people all the time, when it comes to this stuff, I hate the fact that the industry, whether it's movies, whether it's video games, whatever it is, I hate that they have catered and pandered to this hysteria of tracking, of the government watching, because you really start thinking about that. And then when you hear them come out and declassify evidence saying, yes, we have definitely been doing this, then you're like, why are we still even arguing about this? Why is it still a debate of somebody saying, because the funny thing, I was talking to my brother about it, because he'd called a little bit of episode on Monday. He's like, man, I just don't know about it. And I said, bro, what are you talking about, man? I said, I can get it if I understand it if it was maybe 5-10 years ago, and the CIA hadn't declassified information files that stated this exact very thing we're talking about. I can understand if it was pre that, but since they've come out with it, why are you still thinking that that's not something that they would do, or that they're not doing?
Mhm.
Sometimes the best way to cover something up is to put it out in the public.
Mhm.
Maybe give
And
them
even then, I mean, when they do put it out in public, sometimes, like, Shiloh just said, most spyware is actually
yeah.
legal because it's buried in the terms of service that we often skip. Even if you don't skip it and you're aware of it, how many of us are so desensitized to it that we're just like, okay, whatever.
Because you see it all
I'm
the time.
one of those
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I am one of those people. At this point in time, I am aware of what my digital footprint is. And sometimes I just don't care. If they're really surveilling me, as long as I'm not doing something stupid, who cares?
Look, I'm telling you right now, if they're surveilling me, number one, they're gonna be laughing. They're gonna laugh 24/7. They're gonna laugh. They're gonna be like, this dude crazy. He
Mhm.
actually worked for us at one point in time. They were like, what? I need to get him back in here. But I'm serious. Like, the thing is, like, whether you want to believe whatever level you want to believe it's at, that's 100% on you.
Yep.
What I'll tell anybody when it comes to this type of topic is that, number one, you need to get out of yourself and out of your small town thinking, because a lot of times this does boil down to some small town thinking, even if you live in a big city. Because hey, sweetie, what are you doing? Who's outside right now? Is Scarlett outside? Scarlett's outside with Mama. Okay, okay. Well, looks like I just hear Scarlett drinking in the water bowl. So who's outside? Is Mama outside with Zena?
No, I'm outside with Dawn.
Oh, okay. She was fine. I mean,
Come on.
I just want to make sure that she didn't come in with Zena out there and then Zena come running in here.
Dawn's still outside.
Oh, I'm about to make slippers out of him. Anyways, but you got to get out of that small town mindset of thinking that these type of things won't happen. These things only happen in the big city, or they only happen in the movies. Because the thing is, it's very real. Because it doesn't matter what town you're in, it's digital, it's on the internet, it's online, so they can get you anywhere. You can be in a cave, and you got good signal, and if you're not paying attention to your digital footprint and what you're doing, you can be compromised through that.
Yep.
You know, it's like I tell Dez all the time. Tell Dez or mom, like most time her mom leaves her phone at home, which is fine. Anyway, but I tell her when you leave the house, hey, turn your Wi-Fi off. Make sure your Wi-Fi is off when you leave the house. You never leave that house with your phone and have your Wi-Fi still up. Most cases, I don't really have my Bluetooth on. Like I'll have it on like when we're in the car because my music is played through my phone. And that's it. But once I get out of the car, I turn those off too. Turn my Bluetooth off. I turn my Wi-Fi off. So that way, because most people don't realize, that's one thing I learned when I was doing my cybersecurity courses. They're hack. Oh wow! I'm gonna give you one. You may or may not have known, Miss D. You may or may not know this one. You should never actually use hotel Wi-Fi unless you get the actual Wi-Fi information from the hotel. And I mean, when I say get it from the hotel, get the actual login process from the hotel.
Yeah. I don't ever use guest Wi-Fi anywhere for any reason, typically. I mean, my big thing, I will say this, you can say what you want about iPhones, Apple, whatever. I will say their security level is much higher than Android. I mean, even with warrants and whatnot, they will not unlock a phone because they protect their customers. I use strictly Apple products. Most of the house uses strictly Apple products, with the exception of my husband. But even then, I try very, very hard not to use any kind of guest Wi-Fi. If I don't have a signal on my phone, like when I go up to Maine, I typically have signal up until I get to my best friend's house. And then I jump on her Wi-Fi and I have immediate access. I'm not signed under as a guest. I have to enter in her password to get it. So, but yeah, no, the moment you use any kind of public or guest Wi-Fi, you're opening up everything that you have on your phone or any of your smart devices.
Yeah.
Including banking information.
Yes. And the reason why I even brought that up is because the simple fact is that you can go, let's say you go to, I don't really want to name one because let's say you go to Birdman Resort, right? We go to Birdman Resort, we're staying at Birdman Resort, and you see the Wi-Fi, thing. Let's say for whatever reason, you just didn't think about asking the hotel for the Wi-Fi, right? And you go in and say, oh, hey, the Birdman Resort Wi-Fi just popped up. But you, most time, if you're like me, sometimes you don't check the spelling of some things. And the thing is that there are known hackers that will sit outside a hotel. As long as they're in the proximity of the hotel, they can create their own network that goes along with whatever place you're staying with. Like I said, the Birdman Resort, because like I said, I don't want to name off somebody's stuff, and then somebody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, I can't stay there because the Birdman said no, fool." I was using an example, so I'm just using the Birdman Resort. Watch there be a Birdman resort somewhere in the world. Anyways, but they sit out there, and they can sit in a van, they can sit in a car, they could be sitting in the little public space there at the hotel with a computer, laptop, whatever. And as soon as you connect, and you have to go through all the same process of to connect to the hotel's Wi-Fi, but as soon as you connect to theirs, then so while you're on there, they're pulling your information out. They're doing all this stuff. So while you're sitting there relaxing with the family or on a business trip, whatever you're doing, they're pulling all your information. Because even if you don't have your banking information on your phone, which pretty much most everybody does nowadays, but even if you didn't, they can still, as long as they can get in your phone, they can pull that information online and get into your bank account. So that's why you never want to connect. I tell people I would never really connect to a hotel Wi-Fi anyways. And like I said, when I leave my house, my Wi-Fi is not on. The only time my Wi-Fi is on is when I'm home, when I'm at my parents' house, when I'm at my brother's house. And honestly, that's it now. Because I mean, my job, I used to have the job I was working before that. I mean, they had Wi-Fi there, and I would hook up there only because my office where it was at didn't have great signal. So I was on the Wi-Fi for the job, but that was completely encrypted, and I knew the guys who worked the cybersecurity there, so I didn't really worry about it too much there. But no, I mean I agree with you as far as Apple products as well. Their level of security is much higher than Android. It's not impenetrable by any stretch of the imagination, but I mean they seem to take it, and I'm not. Android's not bad. I'm not saying they're bad or anything, but they seem to take it. Take it to another level. As far as Apple,
And they
when
take
they
it
do that.
seriously. If
Yes,
you put
seriously,
in
yeah,
a claim, they take it very seriously, and
hmm
they do right by their customers.
yeah. Like I said, I've been an Apple a long time Apple user. I think the last time I had an Android was in 20. I think it was 05, 05, 06. I think it was the last time. No, it was 07. I take that back. 07. That was the last time that's the last time I had an Android. And I've been an Apple user ever since. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I get it. Like I said, it's not for everybody. Trust me, I
Right.
understand. It's not for everybody, and some people they get intimidated by iPhones and stuff like that. For whatever reason, I don't know what the reason is. To me, they're not that much different from going from Android to Apple.
Hmm.
As far as using the phone, all the same
I,
functions are the same. When I say as far as using it, like I can
right.
still call, I can still text. When it comes to apps and everything, it's whatever I put on that phone.
Right.
So that's why I say like it's not in that sense, it's not that much different. Now, yes, the functions and stuff are way different. I will say
Hmm.
that. And I won't ever disagree with that. But like I tell you about, like my mom, I finally got my mom over on Apple. She's got an iPhone. My dad just got an iPhone 17 as well. And she's like, I don't know if I like this thing. I was like, well, what are you going to do on your phone? And she was like, why I have this is that. I was like, oh, okay. I pull up her app store. I was like, yeah, they have an app for that.
Hmm.
Download it on the phone. What else do you usually do? And now she's like, oh wow. He's like, did you know that I can get Bible verses because my parents are in the church. Yeah, I can get my Bible
Right.
verses sent to me daily. Yes, mother, I set it up there
Hmm.
for you. Yeah, yeah. And so she
Oh,
has her stuff on there. She can do all that stuff. So it's just whatever. It is whatever you want. To me, Apple is the iPhone, especially the iPhones, are a clean slate. It's whatever you want it to be.
hmm.
It can be what you want it to be, and it can be what you don't want it to be. So it's just
Right.
whatever it is. What are you about to say?
Oh, yeah, I was just saying, my mother does the same thing. She's beyond excited. She can have her scriptures right there on her phone or her
Yes.
iPad, so she
Mm-hmm.
can follow along, rather than because LDS they carry not just their Bible, but they have usually a quad, which is their Bible, their Book of Mormon, Pearl of Great Price, and Doctrine and Covenants. So you've got
Yes.
four books in one that you're usually carrying um, with you. And she gets all of it now on her iPad and her phone. So
Mm-hmm.
the hymnals, she doesn't even have to touch the,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
hymnal.
Yeah.
Um, so she thinks it's great, which is awesome. Um, but it's kind of funny. I do want to bring up a story because even like Shyla was saying, that many cities use systems like the shot spotter to detect gunfire. Um, so designed for public safety, the microphones are always on and can sometimes capture ambient conversations in public squares. So we all know that I've worked with dementia and I work third shift. Um, there have been times when I've had to look up some very interesting information. Um, I had to look up um, how to make chloroform one particular day. Um, there is a story behind this. Okay.
Is
I
this
was
story
working at
gonna? Is this story gonna end up with me having to call a lawyer for you?
no, and I have
Okay.
one on retainer, so we're good.
Okay. All right. All right.
I was working at a different facility, and one of my jobs on the overnight was to mop the dining room.
Okay.
And no problem, I have no issue doing that. So I
Right.
got my bleach water and everything because we're talking in the middle of the pandemic. So I've got my bleach and everything. Well, I look over and my coworker is dumping Windex into the bucket. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, well, it gets the floors cleaner. And I'm like, that is bleach water that you just dumped an ammonia product into. I said, let's not make mustard gas around a bunch of geriatric people who are immunosuppressant. She's like, oh, but it gets the floors cleaner. I'm like, listen, you ever do that again? I will not only be reporting you, but you're gonna have to find a way to have my boot surgically detached from your ass. Um anyway, so that brought up a conversation in the facility that I was just working at because you can consider it an accidental combination. Now, I happen
Mhm.
to know what the ingredients of chloroform is, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, could this also become an accidental mixture? So that's why I was looking it up
Mhm.
to ensure that there was no because you can make this stuff out of household products.
Right.
Um,
Not
but
that I
of
know that.
course, and and of course, the people that I was working with, the other one was um, an astrophysicist. So yeah, or she was going to school for astrophysicism. Um, my phone is down to 10%. Hold on, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
I just wanna-
Jeffrey. Jeffrey.
I have no idea where the cord is. Um, but that was always the thing was, um, you know, Mr. FBI agent, I swear I'm not doing anything illegal. It
Right.
is for educational purposes only
Right.
because, but still being afraid of that kind of surveillance,
Mhm.
I didn't need anybody coming up into my work.
Okay. Yeah, we need to talk to you. You right there. Come here. Come here. You already
Yes.
know. Just come here. Just come here. I'm like, what? What I do? What I do, Mr. Officer? Mr.
my
Officer.
my light's gonna go off for a minute. So
Oh, no problem. No problem. Now it's truly Birdman After Dark. Uh,
that's all right. There we go.
yeah.
Just wanted to plug in my
But no,
phone.
it's just that's crazy though. I mean, it's crazy. You had to look up the greens for chloroform. Just, but I mean, still, like that's like I said, I get the security part, and that's I think where I have a problem with is that governments and agencies can create a panic to where they can slip in these so-called bills and laws to put in place. Um, I mean, take what happened with 9/11 and what happened after that.
Mhm.
That was the groundwork to lay to put in the Freedoms Act um, bill, and you're seeing some results of that now. I'm a firm believer that I want my family to be safe. I really want everybody to be safe. It's not just I want to live in a safe country, a safe world. But there has to be it has to be done the right way. It shouldn't be forced. It shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. It shouldn't. You shouldn't be told, "Oh, well, we're doing it. We're doing this for this reason," but it's not. That's not what you're doing it for. It shouldn't be. You shouldn't be lied to. You
Right.
shouldn't be given false numbers. Whether it's the
Mhm.
government, whether it's some other agency, whether it's somebody who's peddling some new product and they're thinking this is going to be safe for for you, safer for you if you do do this or agree to this. It shouldn't be
Mhm.
that. It should just be safe. People should just do the right thing. Now we all know that's never going to happen.
Well, I mean,
Um,
with anything, somebody somewhere is going to find a loophole or a way to take advantage
yes,
of the little guy or the system because not everybody runs on the same moral compass.
yeah. And I mean, my thing is this. I honestly, I'm okay with it. You know why I'm okay with it? It's because I recognize it. I
Mm-hmm.
recognize that that's just how it is. I recognize that not every single person that goes to bed at night, wakes up in the morning, gets dressed, walks outside their house, has the same type of moral compass as I do. I don't have the same
Mm-hmm.
type of moral compass as other people either. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like I guess I have a moral compass like say, hey, I just think that things as collective should be right for all. You know what I'm saying? It
Mm-hmm.
should be right for all. But at the same time, when it comes to certain things, I have no problem I have no problem with some things. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like I have a moral compass. It's not broken.
Mm-hmm.
It sends a tick every once in a while. Sometimes it gets stuck in one spot. And you know what I'm saying? You know how get a little
Mm-hmm.
needle that kind of goes like that, and then it starts working properly. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that's how I am. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell everybody all the time, these hands right here, they rated E
Mm-hmm.
for anyone. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're a baby. I don't care if you're old person, old lady, old man. I don't care who you is. Cross me if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Cross me to
Mm-hmm.
Rain slapped me the other day. I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm going to Walmart. I'm buying some little baby boxing gloves. Buy some little baby boxing gloves. We gonna go out to the backyard. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And we about to have it out. I don't care how I'm 2 years old, about to be 3. You may not see 4. I'm just saying. I'm playing. Yeah, I'm playing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Not I really not, but it's entertainment purposes only. But but no, seriously, I yes, I would love for our country. Like I said, I got to the point where I used to say every time I said something like that, I said I would. This is what the world should be like. I don't really care what the rest of the world's doing
Mm-hmm.
anymore, and the reason why I don't is because we still can't fix what's going on here.
Right.
I don't. I never have believed in sending foreign aid money for foreign aid for any country
Mm-hmm.
when we have people who are homeless and we have people who are starving in our own country.
Yep.
I've never believed in it.
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought that our government was wrong for that. I don't care what the situation is. I can see with if they felt like they needed to send foreign aid for someplace like here like Hiroshima, something like that, something we were involved in that caused that. I can see
Right.
us sending aid for that. But somebody who we don't have a problem with, somebody who's they are thriving like almost better than we are, and we're still sending them. I'm not trying to say names, but we're sending them billions of dollars, and we're talking about, well, we don't have the money to make sure that everybody has their benefits for SNAP. We don't have the money to make sure everybody has health care. We don't have the money to
Mm-hmm.
make sure everybody has food on their plate. We don't have enough
Right.
money to make sure that the prices of what we're of food or eggs or gas or everything is going down because we are sending so much money over to some other country that has
Not
nothing
to
to do with it.
mention our educational system alone. Um, we are in such a job shortage, where people are leaving their jobs left and right, and we're having difficulty filling those jobs um, because we're not getting paid our worth, but yet we're still sending like hemorrhaging money outside the country. It just it boggles my mind. And before we go into right left political talk. I'm not anti-immigration by any
Mm-mm.
means. I
No.
am anti-illegal immigration. If you want to be here, you want to stay here, you follow the rules. You know,
Yeah.
we have it set up, that we're not kicking just everybody out if they've come through and done things the right way. Okay.
Well,
And
the reason why I would say I'd pause on that is because
mm,
that has been in some cases. I'm not saying it's every
right.
case, but it has been in some
Mm,
cases. They're
right.
just they're just kicking people out who just fit the description. So I
Right.
mean, I get
Mm.
yeah.
But that's what happens when you take a bunch of TSA agents and throw an ICE badge on them without having proper training. I mean, when you're talking, when you're going and checking people for contraband getting on a plane to throwing you into a situation where you are now a law enforcement officer without proper training, I mean, yeah, shit's going down. That ain't right
Let me tell you
because
something.
there's a power imbalance without proper training or proper vetting. Yeah.
Listen, what you just said. There are
Hmm.
there are there are law enforcement agencies, police officers who still don't have proper training. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
regular ones, the ones that we have. There's some of them that still don't have the proper training and are doing some of the
Hmm.
stuff. Now they're not doing well. They're not doing it on the scale
Hmm.
as what's going on with ICE. But that is a huge problem. Like
Yeah.
I think I probably wouldn't have had much of a problem with it if they decided they were going to do this and they rolled it out properly. They made
Right.
sure that first they say, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give this 6 months. We're going to give this maybe a year. We're going to
Hmm.
put our agents in place. We're going to make sure they have all the training. We're going to make sure that we're doing everything by the book, by the law. We're not just targeting people, that we actually have a database, what they say they have. They have a database where we know which criminals, the criminals that they say they're going after, which a lot of them have not been criminals, but the
Hmm.
real criminals, the violent criminals they said they're trying to get off the street, and we actually go after them. And now, as we get them, now if we want to say, okay, now we're going to target. Let's say we're going to go, maybe not necessarily target or just start kicking people out. Let's say, hey, let's start getting these people, bringing them in, saying, now look, you're here illegally. Now, if you're going to stay here, you're going to go through the process. You're going to have all this done. You have X amount of time to get it done. If you don't, you're out.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think if they'd have done something like that, instead of going in half cocked and acting like this is the freaking 1940s and going in
Hmm.
and doing this crap that they're doing now, we wouldn't have a lot of it. Maybe you probably still have people protesting because they're
Yeah.
like, hey, these are families that have been here, they're paying their taxes. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're paying their taxes. But if you got someone, they're like,
Hmm.
well, we've been here for years, this and that. We've never caused any problems. Yes, you're still going to have that because not
Hmm.
everybody's going to feel like it's still right. But at the same time, my thing is, I agree with you. If you do it the right way, on both freaking sides, not just the illegal aliens, but the freaking law, the
Hmm.
people that are out there supposedly supposed to be enforcing the law. If you do it right, if you do everything the correct way, you minimize the issues that we're having now.
Hmm.
Like I don't have the problem with the concept. I don't have a problem with the
Right.
concept. I agree with that. I agree with the concept of especially if they're violent criminals, especially if they're so called here illegally, then yes, you need things. Yeah, you need that needs to be taken care of, but in the
Hmm.
way that it's taken care of. All right,
Right.
that's like this. I'll give you this analogy, right? And I use this analogy a lot when it comes to my little boys and girls who are out there dating, right? And you happen to bring home somebody who's just not. They have questions, right?
Hmm.
My question is this: if I say D, I'm about to make you do you eat steak? You eat steak?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I always ask somebody that, but I'm gonna make you this
I don't get
nice.
this way by swallowing air. Okay. Good
All
food
right,
is good food. All right.
right. I got you. But if I'm say Miss D, I'm gonna make you a steak dinner. All right, I'm gonna make you a steak dinner. I'm gonna get you a tomahawk. I love tomahawks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you a tomahawk. Uh, Bye, baby. I'll be out there in a little bit. I'm almost about to wrap up. Okay. But I'm gonna make you this tomahawk dinner. I'm gonna cook it up, grill it up, throw it on a freaking cast iron to finish it up. Man, I'm gonna make it. It's gonna be juicy. One of the juiciest tomahawks you've ever tasted in your life. Perfectly seasoned, everything. I'm gonna throw on some maybe a baked potato or maybe some salt potatoes. Throw that with that bad boy, right? Get you a nice salad because I love salad with my steak. Anything I do like that. What's your favorite vegetable?
Like actual veggies, probably broccoli.
Okay, broccoli. So like
Mhm.
broccoli and cheese, or just regular steamed broccoli?
Just steamed broccoli.
Steamed broccoli. So steam you up some broccoli. I mean, perfectly, just everything perfect about this meal, right?
Hmm.
I get this meal. You watch me prepare this meal, right? And you're seeing like,
Hmm.
man, oh my God, I can't wait to bite into this. And then you see me walk out the kitchen. You see me walk out the back door. You see me go right across from the back door. You see me walk over to a trash can, grab the lid off that trash can, come back in and put your food on that lid, and then come serve it to you. How are you gonna feel about that meal?
Mm-mm.
The moral of the story is you might, like I said, I use this a lot when it comes to young people dating. You might tell me that this person is this and that, but the way you present that person to me is it's gonna change. It's gonna really shape my mind to how I'm gonna have to treat this person. If
Hmm.
you tell me all this stuff, but yet still you're presenting this person to me on a trash can lid as a proverbial meal, that is not appetizing at all. That is not something I want to eat. That's not something I want even in my house. So
Right.
why would you think that?
Hmm.
It's the same concept when it comes to a lot of this stuff. If if the presentation is much better, if they go about and like I said, I'll say this one thing about the administration right now, if they're so transparent, then there shouldn't be as many questions as there are.
Hmm.
That's if you're saying oh we're the most transparent administration that's been ever in the history of the White House, why are there so many questions? Why is it that every time you bring somebody before the congressional hearing, no one answers a question. They don't ever answer an actual question. They dodge
Hmm.
the question. They hit you with a bunch of fluff stuff. They never answer the question. If you're so transparent, it should be I ask you a question, you give me the answer to that question. It's a straightforward
Right.
question. It's not all this other stuff. And I think
Hmm.
for me, when it comes to like the immigration stuff and everything like that, I don't disagree with the concept. I
Right.
don't like the presentation and I hate the delivery.
Hmm.
And I think people are getting in the crosshairs. We've had the fact that we've had American lives lost in something you're talking about doing for immigration.
Hmm.
That is a huge red flag for me.
Right.
Like you say what you want to about people protesting,
Emma,
and I don't agree with some of these people with how they protest.
I
But at the
my
same time,
earbuds when I
they
go to
still
put
have
them
their right.
in, they automatically call whoever I just
Sorry,
called.
Jeff. Sorry, Tommy. I was trying to figure out who he was talking to.
Oh, but like I said, I don't have a
Sort
problem
of.
with. I
And
just think
like I
that
said, I went
it's
to put my
to
earbud
me
back
it's a
in after I came in
problem
with Valkyrie and
when you start having
started
these type
dialing
of
you.
issues that
So
we've
I
been
was like, oh
having,
shoot.
and that's where I'm at
Hmm.
with it.
Right.
But like I said, I agree. Like I said, I think we've had this problem for many
Oh
years,
yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
my problem. I'll be honest with you. You know what my problem with it is?
Goodbye, Mom.
I've seen people come into this country who are not American citizens, but then get all these benefits,
Hmm.
and they're living in houses and stuff. And I'm like, yo, man, I've been here this whole time, and I can't get that same type of like benefit. I can't get that same. I was like, and I served in the
Hmm.
military.
Yep.
And I'm scrapping, every single day, every single month, make sure I'm paying rent, make sure I'm paying, the bills for the house
Hmm.
and stuff. And like, it's like, how is it that, and I can understand the resentment that some people would have.
Hmm.
Because it's like, yo, I'm an American. I've been here my entire life. My family's been here their entire lives. We're not immigrants.
Yeah.
We've been here our entire lives. How is it that they're getting something that we don't even come close to even getting, or they say we don't qualify for? And
Right.
I mean I get it, but like I said, there's got to be a better. There's always a better way to do something,
Hmm.
and I just think what
Well,
they're doing right now, they're not even looking for a better way.
and the whole thing too with the illegal immigrants. a lot of them that we're finding aren't people who are hopping the border and hiding away. It's people who have legit come through our visa system and then have overstayed their visa.
Yeah.
So typically, if they're on a work or school visa and they're able to work, they're now set up within our tax system. So to be able to continue to work, they're already set up with our tax system. So unless they're job jumping, you know, they pretty much have really it made to stay beyond their visa, unless you have an employer who is paying attention to that.
Yeah.
It's but then they're
Yeah.
like, but they're not, they're not breaking the law, they're paying their taxes. But
They're breaking the law.
it's still putting a strain on the system in general.
Yeah, but the thing is, I always go against that argument so much. Well, they're not really breaking. No, they're breaking the law.
Yep.
And what they're doing by being in the country and not having the proper paperwork. You know, whether it's a visa, whether it's a work visa or green card, whatever it is, it's a law. Like it's on the books. It's a law. So you can't say they're not breaking law. Now you might say they're not, committing major crimes. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing, anything extremely illegal. We'll put it that way, because I can't say they're not doing anything illegal, because if they don't have the proper paperwork, they're illegal.
Right.
That I get the argument. I get what people are saying, but at the same time is that you can't say you're trying to build something of integrity or anything like that, but yet still you're allowing so many other things to go unchecked. And like I said, I always said, when they started doing this, I always said, like, they're gonna start realizing they probably should have went about doing this a different way, because if you start getting rid of all the illegal aliens immigrants at the time, I don't want to say aliens, but illegal immigrants at that time, you'll find out that they were working a lot of jobs that the average American wasn't willing to work, and therefore
follow the agricultural lines.
Yes.
Through the different seasons and the different the different grow seasons and harvest seasons. If you follow those lines, you follow a lot of immigrant workers, and a lot of them are here legally. And they're here from, typically June through October, sometimes a little bit later, and they follow the agricultural line. But it's also a good way to traffic people.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, it goes back to your point. It goes back to your point of someone finding a loophole, finding a way around. So they were using that. They were using that, like the people that were coming over were doing their, doing what they're, well, I'm not gonna say doing what they're supposed to. They were doing their thing, coming over, working, going back home. Well, they're like, you know what? If they're using those type of lines to do that, then if we want to get somebody out of the country because we want to do human trafficking, we can do the exact same thing. And that's what gets me, is that, I mean, almost any aspect of anything we're talking about, what we do, not necessarily just the government, just in human nature, in almost any aspect of human nature, if someone wants to do something evil or inherently bad, no matter how good of a system you set up, they are going to find a way to do what they want to do.
Right.
Now, when you think about a lot of this human trafficking is organized. It's not just like some drug dealers or some kind of gang.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of this is by some people who have some serious money and know they can make some even more money by simply doing these type of things, whether it's drug trafficking, human trafficking, whatever it is. That's where they're making them. This is not like you might see in a movie where you sit there and say, "Oh, well, this is some guy named Julio something," or freaking some, I don't know, I don't know, what are some evil
these criminal rings
names
are not instantaneous. Nobody just stumbles into them. These are building blocks, piece by piece by
Unless you're Walter White.
piece. Right.
I love that show. But no, you're right. This is like
Mhm.
those things have been they've been around and in place for years. I mean, if you don't believe me,
Mhm.
see some people. I don't do the whole. I don't do the whole like. I don't do like the slavery thing. I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm not that black guy.
Mhm.
I am now coming to terms and grips that I am black. With the whole fried chicken thing. Um, if you missed that earlier, you need to go back and watch this episode. But
Throw in some strawberry soda and a slice of watermelon. We
yeah,
got it made.
you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, I guess I really am black. Anyways,
Apparently, I am too because I like those things too. So,
well, guess what? There's a lot more. There's a lot more black in everybody than we realized. Oh, that just not. I don't think that sounded right. Anyways, let me finish my thought and let's get the hell out of here. Okay. Anyways, what the hell was I saying? Oh no, what was I saying? Was I talking about movies or something?
well, we got to bring it back to the whole tracking.
Yeah, I think I was going with the human trafficking element and going
Right.
back to how they track people.
Right.
There's a it's easy to like when we talk about this, even if we're going to tie the human trafficking back into this, a lot of these people, they're not just, it's not just somebody just walking around and they're looking and say, oh, that's someone I think we need to take.
Mhm.
A lot of it is they're using programs, they're using software, they're using dating apps.
Mhm.
And they're using that to be able to get a hold of people. When it comes to your children, they're using that. They're using different devices and different programs, different things to get in to get your children's information and get the pictures. What was that one that was taking? Who was that? People that are taking the kids' pictures all this
So
time.
One
Yeah, there you go.
Touch
One
has
touch.
been a large scale photography that has been used in the school programs in 90% of schools. And the owner is on the Epstein files. Now, think about this as well. In the 80s, how many of us had our fingerprints done with a picture in case we were ever kidnapped?
Yeah.
Where does all of that data lie?
But one touch.
One Touch had the program for the pictures. The owner, along with G Max's father, owning the publishing
Mm,
company for the textbooks of the schools. Our children, even our generation, have been tracked
yeah.
all of their lives. It was to a point like you don't get them anymore, but I think it was up until like 2000, 2001,
Mm,
where if you had a baby, the hospital, one of the first things they would do, take a picture of your newborn for you and send you home
yeah.
with a little
Yeah.
wallet-sized picture of your newborn.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they do that anymore.
No, they don't do
Yeah.
that. They
Nah.
haven't done that since the early 2000s.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just it's all stupid to me.
Mhm.
I literally just want to, channel my inner Rambo and John Wick and just really go after the system. Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes. I mean, that's just how I feel sometimes. Um,
Yes, and Bambi did say this is why I homeschool, so it can't happen to my kiddos. Um, I hate to be the bearer of that bad news, sweet daughter of mine. They have social security numbers, birth certificates. Um, you do allow photos of them on online platforms. Yes, like I know I post pictures of them. I'm just guilty because they're my beautiful grandbabies.
yeah.
Um, but one, my platforms are private.
Hmm.
Um, I do that because I don't want weird people looking at pictures of my children or grandchildren, outside people I know. But those digital footprints are still out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's
It's just a
tough.
matter of what you're willing to allow your digital
Yeah.
footprint to become.
Yeah. And like I say, it's tough. And I've gotten to the point where I used to say this a lot, and I stopped saying it. 'Cause I used to say, well, I mean, back when I was growing up, we didn't worry about this, but then you're finding out, especially when you're talking about, he keeps saying it, but the Epstein files, and you're finding out that even back then, all this stuff was going on. They
Yeah.
were just way better. Well, I'm not gonna say they were way better at hiding it, but technology has pushed this all to the forefront. I think if technology was the same now or the same then as it is now, this stuff would have been out a long time ago. But because of the way technology is, because of the way social media is, this is why it's getting so much more attention. I mean, think about it. I mean, information it took a while for you to get any type of real information. You know what I'm saying? It's either landline, you didn't have cell phones, at least not back when I was coming up. Didn't have cell phones. I mean, I was in high school when I finally got a pager. You know what I'm saying? I used to get the pager, the beep, 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 beep. You know what I'm saying? I had to go find me a pay phone or go find me a landline somewhere and get somebody call. Yo, what you ring your ding ding? What's up, player? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and we got good at pager like code. It was like Morse code on crack.
Yeah. 100%. Them was facts. Like we used to come up with all kinds of stuff. And I think that's just what, that's the difference is that technology, and we said it so many times before, it's made everything just right at your fingertips. Like you have everything right at your fingertips. And it's fast. You don't have to wait, a few hours, a couple days, a week or two. It's
that
instantaneous.
instant information. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I think it's more disturbing to me now. Because before you can kind of hide behind ignorance back in the day, and it's true. It's true what they say. Ignorance is bliss. When you don't know something and you're able to just live your life, it's like the Truman Show. You're able to just live your life. You don't know what's going on. It seems like everything's great until that seam gets torn in on the backdrop, and you're like, wait a minute, all the world's a stage. It is what it is. All right, we're gonna get up out of here. I don't want to keep everybody too long for this recap. Definitely want to appreciate. Like I said, definitely thank you to Itzy for joining us for the first part of the recap. Of course, she did a great job. She did a great job, especially with last night's episode, which, like I said, we talked about. I think I still have the. Do I? I do. So last night's episode was the Slender Man tragedy in Internet's shadow, and then of course we just got through recapping Monday night's episode where we talked about trackers, unmasked, tiny tech, terrifying surveillance, and or total myth. Good God Almighty, I'm having another stroke. Like I said, we like I said, we did those recaps last night. How do I got to change something real quick? But yeah, like I said, if you want to check out those past episodes, you can definitely go do that by simply going to bada boom, bada bing. Going to Rumble or our YouTube channels, Rumble at Birdman Show and YouTube at TBS 216. That's TBS short for the Birdman Show. If you didn't get that, yeah, we need to talk. But yeah, you can go check out those past episodes. You can also check us out. Oh God, I don't think I have that on here. God bless America. Remind me, I need to update the Spotify information. But yeah. But I will also say this, like I said, and I thank everybody for joining us for this recap. But like I said, I will say this for those who joined late. If this issue can persist with TikTok, we'll be moving on from TikTok doing the show. I don't want to, but at the same time, I don't want to keep doing this. And with this sale of TikTok and everything that's going on behind it, I don't know how. I don't know if I can stay on TikTok. I don't want to leave TikTok. I love the support we get there. I love everybody. We've met so many people, and I'd probably stay on TikTok, but just not really. I might do a few lives on there, but maybe not do the actual show. But if it does come to that, like I said, we will be going back to Riverside. And Riverside I just have a lot more options with it. But the cool thing about Riverside is that I can actually automatically upload the live to like Spotify as soon as the episode's done. I already have the podcast linked to that. So we'll see. Like I said, nothing's concrete. I'm gonna revisit it probably Sunday TikTok and see what's going on with that. And then we'll just kind of go from there. But it is what it is. Tex Green, game over. What is going on here? Chrissy, my nose is brown now. What happened? I was not paying attention to comments. I was doing other things, and all of a sudden we just went off. What is going on here? Are those like
Shiloh and Christy going back and forth?
No, okay, I get it now. It's I looked on the YouTube chat on the actual YouTube channel, and they're emojis.
Yes.
But when it comes in through here on my studio, it just says face fuchsia poop shape. And I was like, what? And then it's like text green game over. I was like, what? And then I happened to look down on my iPad, which I'm actually watching it on, I think the Birdman Sports Show Birdman Sports. And I looked and seen it, and I was like, oh, those are emojis. Okay, those are emojis. I gotcha. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I see that now. My favorite niece. I see that now. Yeah, I was like, what is going on here? What's with the poop? Why is the poop fuchsia? What have you been eating? Get that out your diet. Like, stop eating so many beets.
Hey, bananas makes your poop purple.
I was not aware of that. I don't eat a lot of
now
bananas
you are.
anyways. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of bananas anyways. I think it was because somebody made a monkey joke one time, and I was like, you know what? Screw you. I'm not eating bananas anymore.
They're also closely related to latex. So if you have a latex allergy, you shouldn't eat them.
What?
Yes. And bananas aren't a fruit, but well, they're actually a berry.
Bananas a berry?
Mm-hmm. But a strawberry isn't. We should probably do a show on like useless trivia facts, because I got quite a few of them. Your brain doing okay, Tim?
No, it is not. I'm gonna have to go get a drink for that one. Anyways, thank you guys for oh my god, joining the Confused Birdman Show. We will be back Monday, but not for Conspiracy Files episode. Yeah, wait a minute. Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. I was about to say we're doing our AI.
I forgot. We got one more week. Jesus, man, mother of this. Oh god. Well, I think because that one we ended up we took off for what was it, New Year's?
Oh yeah.
Threw me off. So it kind of threw me off there. So yeah, so we'll be back Monday. We're gonna be talking about AI. And I'm not talking about Allen Iverson, who is one of my favorite basketball players of all time. But we're gonna be talking about artificial intelligence. Sometimes I wish a lot of people had some type of artificial intelligence. They just don't have any intelligence, and it's artificial at all. Anyways, once again, not getting into that, but we will be back Monday for that episode, talking about that. And then next week on the Birdman Show, I don't know what we're doing. Give me a second. We are Where is that at?
Was it the
God bless it.
18th that you guys were taking off and that we were supposed to move over to Wednesday for that week? I don't remember.
No, okay. So what happened was, all right. So, um, technically, this week, this Wednesday was supposed to be that conspiracy theories episode we did last Wednesday.
Gotcha.
So what we did was we took the Slender Man, which was supposed to have been um, last week, and we
Mhm.
moved it to this week, and then we just moved this
Okay.
conspiracy theory to. So the 18th. Oh, that's next week. Oh, oh, oh my God! Guess what? Guess you're gonna be back on again
Okay.
Wednesday, but we're not doing a conspiracy files episode because
Okay.
it's Carrie's birthday, I believe.
Okay.
I think it's Death Light's birthday. It's either I think it's this week or was it? Yeah, I think it's this. I think it's this next week. So
Mhm.
she's not gonna be on. So I said we
Okay.
were gonna do a let's talk about it episode.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a let's talk about it. Now. If you've never been on for one of our let's talk about it, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna research a question. Okay. And so what I'll do that probably do that tomorrow. I got a few things I got to wrap up with school. So I'm gonna do all that stuff, and then I'm gonna probably spend Friday and Saturday, well, most of Friday, a little bit of Saturday. I'm gonna look up. I already have a couple. I'm gonna revisit that list because I haven't done it in a while. So I'm gonna revisit that list. I'm gonna put a question. It's gonna be. I'll post it. I'm gonna post it on TikTok. I'll post it on YouTube. I'll post it on my Facebook. If we're friends on Facebook or you follow me on Facebook, make sure you do. If you haven't, I'll post it on. I'll probably put like a little video or whatever on Rumble or something like that. But I'm gonna post it everywhere. Okay. And it's gonna be a question, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna discuss that question on that Wednesday. Now we did this once before, and that
Mhm.
topic turned into something I never thought it was. I thought maybe that show was going to be maybe 45 minutes. I hadn't planned on it being a 2 hour show.
Yeah, and we actually went
Uh,
over.
yeah, and so it just turned it.
Mhm.
It just morphed into something, and so this one is going to be a little different. I'm not going to say it's different. This one might be a little bit more hard hitting,
Okay.
possibly. So we'll see. But I've got a list of at least 5 or 6 different questions right now for our Let's Talk About It series. But that's what we're doing next Wednesday, and then the following week we come back with a You Be the Judge. So
Mhm.
that should be fun. So yeah, and then I'll be reaching out because I'm gonna have to redo this since Ace is not gonna be here for a little while. Episode 17, which is March 18th, and I'm putting
Mhm.
this out there into the Birdman universe, the flock. Um, the 17th, which is March, or the 17th episode, which is March 18th, is going to be our Battle of the Sexes episode. So I'll be reaching out to several different people about joining the panel for that.
Mhm.
Now that one I will say 100%. Please listen to me. What I'm saying. Of course, I'll be doing this later too. Please listen to what I'm saying. That episode 100% is going to be on Riverside, regardless of what happens. That episode is going to be on Riverside, and it's only going to be on Riverside. The reason why I'm doing that is because of the panel, or not the panel, the live call-in feature. Now I might still go ahead and um yeah, the 17th on the 18th. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um but it's our 17th episode that we're doing, and it's going to be March 18th. Don't worry, I'll definitely be giving out announcements leading up to it. But it's going to be on Riverside because of the live call-in feature. I want people to have the ability to be able to sit down, watch this episode, and then if you have comments, if you have questions, you have the ability to be able to push the button on your computer or laptop and be able to do a call in, because we will have a call in segment where people can actually call in.
Mhm.
So I want you. So like I say, if you have a laptop, you have to have a laptop or a desktop in order to be able to have that feature. Um,
Mhm.
but like I said, because of that, I probably will still we'll start probably still stream to YouTube. But I probably won't be well, and probably Rumble too. So I mean, I guess nothing really changed as far as that. But that's the reason why I want to do it, because I want everybody to have that opportunity, because this is not going to be like what we did before. Where we had, we talked. I can't remember. I think it was a real talk. It was a real talk episode we did. It was a 3-parter we did. We had people on there, and we tackled some issues with relationship stuff. This is going to be a straight up hard hitting. We're tackling relationship issues and just issues in general. But it's basically going to be geared towards men versus women, and we're going to talk about this now. We're using this platform as something that we can hopefully help other people. This may not be something that we're actually going through ourselves, but it could be stuff that we've gone through in the past. So just understand this. The people I already have a pretty good idea who we're going to have on for that episode. We've all talked before. We've all had conversations about stuff leading into this. So these are people I'm 100% confident with, that we can have a hard hitting conversation that could get heated, but it's not going to affect us in the end. So that's coming up on, like I said, March 18th. Like I said, I'm putting that out there now so I can start. I'm going to start reaching out to people, because I'm going to have to start doing this now myself. So, yeah, we're going to start getting that out. Go ahead.
And I do know, just for anybody listening, when it comes to stuff like that, I am that person. You can ask anything.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I don't get embarrassed easily. I don't, I look at it almost medically, because that's how I'm trained. And a lot of times I'll have at least a logical answer. If it's something I don't know, I'll be researching it on the fly, because, so I'm that person. If you have an opportunity to ask a question, ask it. There's no stupid questions. There are no stupid answers. And none of us are experts on anything. All we can do is give support through, our own experiences.
Yeah. And I'm about to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
I was just about to say, I went to school. I double majored in communication psychology. I was actually wanting to be a couples therapist. And I ended up joining the military. Definitely went a different direction with that one. But then when I got out, I got involved in church. I was an assistant pastor at my dad's church. I was youth pastor at my dad's church. I've been through several counseling sessions, being able to have to counsel people on different things. And even though I tend to sometimes fall back on a lot of that stuff, I still don't always rely on it, because it's not something that just, you should be able to use and adapt it to anything. And that's how I kind of look at things. So yeah, I might draw on some of those experiences, but once again, 100%, like Miss D said, we're not experts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I have a background in it, but I don't have a degree in it. You know what I'm saying? This is not something I take clients in on a weekly basis. I'm not seeing anybody for this. So I'm not an expert. The only thing I'm going to do is tell you, what I think and what's going through my mind at that time. And Lord knows, we all know, we don't never know what's going through the Birdman's mind. Thank you, Shiloh. I know I'm trying. But anyways, thank you very much, brother. I love you, man. Appreciate that. Like I said, we love you guys so very much. Mr. You got anything else you want to tell the people before we get up out of here?
Other than, have an amazing, it was a Valentine's Day coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Not really a big one that my husband and I celebrate, but to those who do, enjoy yourselves. And I can't wait to see y'all on Monday when we talk about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So be good to each other. And most importantly, be good to yourself. Because you can't do much if you're running on empty. Exactly.
100%. That's 100%. Couldn't say it better myself. So like I said, thank you guys for joining us this week. And we'll see you guys, like Ms. D said, we'll see you guys Monday. And then we'll definitely see you guys again on Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, we're going to This week's taking us out is going to be Shiloh's Wings Up, Wings Up, Wings Up. Taking us out. So like I said, we'll see you guys on Monday. We love you guys very much. For Miss D, for Itzy, who joined us tonight, for the whole Birdman family, Mace Valor, Ace, Deathlight. I'm the Birdman. Thank you for joining us. We love you guys. Birdman Show out. Do it as we get up out of here. And we out.
Yeah. We unpacked a lot today. Remember, when you dive into the dark, you gotta bring your own light. Welcome to the sanctuary.
The headlines fade and the noise dies down. We sitting with the shadows in the middle of town. We analyze the motive, we traced every track, but now it's time to take our own peace of mind back. See, the world gets heavy with the stories we spin, from the cold-blooded killers to the state that we in. But inside the flock, yeah, the air is clean. We filtering the toxins out of the machine. Keep your wings up, gliding over the static, turning tragic into magic. Yeah, the flow is automatic. It's the Birdman wisdom rising out of the grave. We acknowledge the night, but we living for the day. Yeah, we living.
Yo, they say curiosity killed the cat, but that's a lie. It's the silence that hurts that makes the spirit dry. So we talk it out loud, put the shame on the shelf. Real conversations are the wealth of your health. From the silliness to serious, we bridge that gap. More than just a show, fam, more than just a rap. It's a lifeline thrown in the ocean of grief, searching for the answers but finding relief. Oh,
Bring the laughter in,
let it breathe.
let the healing begin.
We don't leave.
We saw the worst of the worst, looked it right in the eye. Now we lifting up our heads, watching clouds pass by. So keep it up, we lifting up our heads, watching clouds pass by. So keep your wings up, gliding over the static, turning tragic into magic. Yeah, the flow is automatic. It's the Birdman wisdom rising out of the grave. We acknowledge the night, but we living for the day. Birdman Show. Beats loaded. Real people. Rest easy. Fly. We'll catch you on the next flight. Truth unfolds. Truth unfolds.